Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more.
So in today's episode, I want to talk about probably the greatest thing that we have out here. Our garden sheds that don't blow away. Sea cans. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to have an acreage, I mean, if you have any sort of wind or you want something that's going to be rodent proof, weatherproof, this is probably the best investment you can get. I bought mine for about $5,000. This one that you can see in the background right now, that was about $5,500, and that was delivered. We're not too far out of the city, so I mean, it depends where you are. It might cost a little more to get delivered. These things are great. They are rodent proof. So that and like just any sort of vermin, so you don't have to worry about stuff getting in. Whatever it's in there, it's sealed, it's good. Weatherproof, you know, as long as there's no holes in it, makes you buy one without any. You can store everything in there. It's gonna be completely safe and secure. You can lock them up, and the biggest thing is the weather. You know, for when it rains, it snows, and the winds, they howl. I'm losing a bunch of softened fascia on my house. I lost shingles. We've had, you know, when we get 120 km/h winds, just these big plow winds, we don't have any issues. These things don't budge, don't do anything. It's great. We got them sitting up. You can kind of see just underneath there some railroad ties. Whenever they kind of change on the railroad, they're just kind of free for all, so we grab them. We've got the ones that are kind of best looking, one at either end, front and then back, because they got big solid frame rails underneath. They can sit there forever. And you know what, just let's have a look at see what mine looks like. So when we first moved out to this acreage, because we were literally building everything, this is what we stored everything in. If I had to work and I want to be out of the elements, here's where I would do it. Some of the things to note, when you do get them, keep them lubricated. I haven't sprayed this in a while, but I used to do a few times. Just some WD-40, especially along there, makes it a lot easier to open. How we have it set up inside, and you can do so much. I mean, I don't have it hooked up right now, but you see I got string lights with some LED bulbs. All I do is I got that plug there. I run an inverter and just a big 12-volt car battery, and so when I'm mucking around in here, I can light this whole thing up. Tons of room. Some things I do recommend, try to keep it organized, otherwise it just turns into a big pile of crap on the inside. We built a little shelf for in there, so we got the bikes, because it's winter time now. Bikes live underneath. I got the OSI Canada Mini Indy go-kart stored up top. Stuff that we don't really need, but we still have. And you know what? Snowmobiles, we usually have them in here. I'll even keep them covered. Still, I'll do the winterizing. Some things that I would recommend though. So I've got that guy right there. I'm pretty much going to store it or build it right on top. What I'm thinking for there, I'm going to just more or less mark out the square, drill a bunch of holes, have a bit of screen netting. So that way, because you can't smell over video, but I got a lot of vehicles, there's a lot of gasoline, those fumes do build up. Whenever I open it, I usually let it kind of air out for a bit. I'm in here right now, but I'm going to go outside and do that, just keep the door open. If I do, especially in the summertime, you know, with these babies sitting in here, that gasoline, it vents out, it stinks like hell. So, you know, I'm going to put a vent on up top with that little whirligig, and it's going to be great. Some of the other things we're going to do, because we have this second one here, and it's going to get moved on Sunday. We got a guy coming with the backhoe, he's going to help us. And just kind of straighten it out, because we got this big gap here. What we're essentially going to try is we're going to build a wall from the back to the back, and we're going to put a roof on it. So then we'll basically have a bit of a structure. I can put my boat under here. It'll be tall enough. I can put a camper. So my boneyard that's sitting out there, I can move stuff into here. So come wintertime, move the boat right in there. Summertime, put the ice fishing shack, you know, the race cars. We can actually have them just so they're not sitting out in the elements. So if you're gonna on an acreage, on a farm, any sort of thing, if you have the space, I highly recommend these. I've probably the best purchase that we did for our acreage, just because we can put so much stuff in there. It's so secure, and the wind won't blow it over. I have a hard time keeping my house standing up, but these things are fine. So, you know, short video, but you know, just kind of like the knives, the little things that I've kind of learned as time goes on. Get a sea can. A lot better than the plastic things that you can buy from Walmart, Costco, and all that. Way more durable, and they're not going to go away in the first windstorm or any sort of storm. So that's pretty much my 2 cents. That's really all I got. Till next time.